Once again, this is a great show, great content, and it gives me something else to talk about. Let's get into the review, y'all. And what's going on, you guys? It's be your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for another review of Toya and Reginae, Season 1, Episode 3. Okay, what's going on, you guys? I hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday, TGIF, and I intend on doing the exact same. What's going on, y'all? But before we get into today's review, let's talk about what we got coming up on the horizon. Now, a week from today, which is September the 15th, make sure you guys tune in to the second episode of Boys Night Out, which features Scotty by Nature TV, Jamar 84, giving you the real tea, Josiah's World TV, and Maddie Rants, as we play games, discuss music, discuss what's going on in the blogs, and also talk about all things gay shit. All right. So make sure you guys tune in to Boys Night Out next Friday at 8:15 Eastern time, you guys. All right. All right, y'all. But with that being said, that's pretty much all that we got to come up on the horizon with this platform. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the review. Now, if you watched my review on I did my very first review on this show, and it was episodes 1 and 2, so we can go ahead and get into episode 3. Okay, so let's talk about it. Now, we pick up where we left off last week with the fight between Reginae and Mel, which is Beatty's girlfriend. Is Reginae versus Mel. I still feel like Toya and Reginae was out of line for how they came at Mel. I really don't feel like Mel did anything wrong in this scene. Like, I feel like they was already irritated by Mel anyway, so they decided to pick a fight. That's how it felt like. That's what it felt to me. And Toya's whole thing was, if Mel puts her hands on my daughter, I'm gonna have to put my hands on her. I mean, I wasn't mad at her for that, because that's how most mothers would be, if you ask me. Because I know my mama be the same way, and my ass is 34 years old, and she still be somewhere trying to defend me. And I'd be like, girl, like, I don't need your help, girl. I got this. Like, go ahead, move on. But that's just how mothers are. This just what they do, honey. You know, Danielle pulled, Beatty to the side and basically said, you need to speak your mind. Because I feel like in this particular situation, everybody was speaking for you, and they were saying the things that you wanted to say, but you, in so many words, ain't got the balls to say it. And I think that is the thing with Beatty. I don't think she has the balls to say what she really want to say, because she's not necessarily the most confrontational person. And sometimes when you're not confrontational, it gives everybody the leeway in the leg room to come at you any kind of way and just think that you're a punk. And I don't really think that Beatty is a punk. She's just not confrontational. She doesn't want to rock the boat. She don't want to start no argument. She don't want to start no fight. And I believe that with her growing up in this environment that she grew up in, to be honest, that's probably how it was. Whenever somebody spoke their minds about anything, the first thing mothers wanted to do is try to fight or argue and stuff like that. And when you come from situations like that and you have that kind of trauma, then that's really what it is. She probably think that I can't speak my mind with these motherfuckers. All they gonna want to do is try to fight, or they want to argue. And sometimes people really ain't got the time to be doing none of that. Like, all that arguing and shit. Don't nobody got time for that. And I feel like that's why she avoids confrontation a whole lot, because none of these people in her family are easy people to talk to. We talk about Toya, but I don't think that Casey is easy to talk to. Hell, Reginae ain't really that easy to talk to, in my damn opinion. So that's just what I think. Danielle feels like Beatty is in love with Mel, but Mel's not in love with her. And Mel was like, I love men. I'm attracted to females. And regardless of what, and we already had an agreement when we came into this situation. So at the end of it all, no matter how feelings have changed, this is what it is. So in so many words, I know that Beatty is hurt, because this girl pretty much just said to her, I don't want you like that. I like you, but I don't love you like that. And I think that Beatty loves Mel more than Mel loves Beatty, if she loves her at all. I think that Mel is more so into men than she is to women. And I think that Beatty was just her plaything, where Beatty actually fell in love with Mel. So it's kind of difficult when you are the only one in love in your relationship, and as hard as it was for you to let go. That's what Latoya Luck can say. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Oh no. You know the song Obvious off her first album. That's what this is giving. Sometimes we want things that may not be right for us, but when you're in love, you seem to look over the obvious. That's exactly what this is. Beatty says that at this point, her and Mel are one and done at this point, because at this point, my sister and my niece, they all been saying that this girl really don't love me like that. And she pretty much just said it in my face just now. So it's like now my feelings are hurting now that we are done, basically. So yes, I see it. I definitely see what this is. Casey performs, but perform what? We didn't hear no song, we didn't hear nothing. So what are we performing? What are we performing? We didn't hear nothing. I wanted to see if I was gonna like the song or not. I mean, I like the way he look. I think he fine as fuck. But I wanted to know if I like the music or not. And I can't really tell if I like the music or not because we ain't hear nothing. Okay, Casey. Beginning to Danielle, Toya, and Bianca. Now, Danielle informs Toya that Mel don't really love Beatty, and it's basically everything that you already said. She don't love Beatty. Mel loves Beatty loved Mel more than Mel loved Beatty. Okay, Beatty was more so in tune with the relationship. Mel really wasn't. This was like a plaything for Mel, and that's just the truth. And I think that's the reason why Toya and Reginae had an issue with Mel. Because when you really look at it, it came across like Toya and Reginae just wanted to have an issue with Mel, or they wanted to fight with Mel. Even though at this damn party with Anita, I do feel like they picked a fight, but they don't like Mel because they see how Beatty really feels about Mel, but Mel don't feel the same way about Beatty. So they felt like, Mel was playing with Beatty's feelings. And I can understand how they came across that way. Danielle says that Beatty needs to be honest. She's not the most confrontational person, and she's not. Like I said already, she's not. So she's not completely honest about how she really feels, and I don't think that she feels comfortable really saying how she feels. I mean, and not to make anything about me, but I know how it feels to be like a non-confrontational type of person, because I know when I was growing up, I wasn't really confrontational either. So I didn't become this person with a big mouth and a big opinion until I was in high school. So a lot of the times we can sit back and we can let things go on and not say anything, and then it affects us so much, and it festers on the inside of us, and then when it finally comes out, it comes out in the most negative ass way, like it blows the fuck up, and it blows the fuck up in the wrong way, and then because you've been holding this in, you look like the bad guy because you've been holding this in, and now that you done had enough, and then blowed up in your face now and in everybody else's face. So everybody looking at you like you crazy. So I do agree with Danielle. She needs to be honest, because sometimes honesty is the best damn way. I mean, at this point, I feel like I can say whatever the fuck I need to say and want to say to people at this point, because if I've been holding this shit in all my life, I don't need to keep holding it in no more. I'm 34. I look like holding how I feel about things anymore. If I feel some type of way about something, bitch, I'm gonna fucking say it. And that's just it. Um, Toya says that her relationship with Beatty is all that matters because they don't have the best relationship. And they do have a 10-year difference, but me and my brother have an 11-year difference. But that's only because we grew up in the same house. Toya and Beatty did not grow up together. They were pretty much separated. So when you don't grow up with your siblings, it's a battle. It's a battle to do that. I'm living through that right now with my other four siblings in New Orleans. I mean, not New Orleans, in Jersey. We didn't grow up together. So as adults, we're trying to forge a relationship. But when you are raised differently and you look at life in a different way, and let's also bring into the fact that I grew up in the deep south, they grew up on the East Coast. So we see things in a different way. I'm from the country, they from the city. They see things a little bit differently than I do. My mind works differently than they do. And our personalities are not the same. So you either gonna clash, or there's gonna be a complete sigh of distance between you and your sibling, especially when you don't grow up together. So it's always gonna be a struggle. Toya was talking about how her family drains her. And I definitely get that. I just talked about that a couple of months ago on one of my videos. Being the person that everybody leans on in your family can be draining. it can be like the most idiotic thing to you. Like everybody's grown, but everybody's, reaching out to me or leaning on me. And when it's time for me to need somebody to lean on, there's no one around. And when Toya was sitting up there crying and she broke down into tears, baby, I felt her pain. I know how that feels. But because I'm not that emotional, it's rage for me. It turns it my shit is rage. Like I go the fuck off. Like I let loose. I don't really cry like that. So the way that I express myself when I'm hurt sometimes is through anger. And even if I do cry, it's because I'm angry. You know what I'm saying? But that's another video for another day. But I get what she's saying. It's hard when you're the one that everybody leans on, and it is draining. And sometimes family don't realize that they're draining you, or maybe they do realize and they just don't give a long as they get what they need from you. They don't give a how much it drains you. Some people don't give a honestly. Some family members really don't give a about how they drain you. They just want and take and take and take, but don't give anything back. And that's just what it is. Um, Toya feels appreciated, and I understand that too. Because when you do give and give and give to people, and they act as if you've never done anything for them, or you've never been there for them, and the one time you tell them no, or the one time you say, "Listen, I'm not doing this," like you don't have to get it yourself. The one time you decide to stand on your own 2 feet and do something different, then they act like you never said yes when that's all you ever said all their lives, and all yours was yes, 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 because you feel bad because you got it, but they don't. So you feel like you're obligated to tell them yes all the time. When you're really not obligated to tell them yes all the time, you don't have to. And I think that's where Toya is. And like Danielle says, Danielle encourages Toya that she got to create boundaries with her and her family members. Prime example. I'm doing the same thing right now with some of my siblings. I have to create boundaries. I can't keep on allowing people to keep draining me and taking from me and emotionally draining me and just financially draining me and all that stuff. It's boundaries that have to be set now. No, 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 no. You do you. If I want to help you, I will. But if I don't want to, I ain't got to. And I ain't got to feel bad about it. So as hard as it may be, sometimes setting boundaries and kind of separating yourself from certain people in your family just might be the best thing to do. It hurts. Don't get me wrong, especially when you're so used to doing it, but it's what you need. You need that mental stability. You need that mental comfort. You need to comfort yourself mentally, because the more you take care of everybody else, you're going to forget about yourself and you're going to be mentally insane. Trust me. I know. Anyway, not to make everything about me though. But anyway, we get into Reginae and her friends. And they first start off the same time out what their favorite sex positions are. I'm like, girl, I don't want to know that. Like, girl, I don't want to know that, girl. Okay. Like, no, ma'am. I don't want to know that at all. Period. Um, then they started talking about how do y'all feel about a poly relationship, and Reginae was like, listen, I'm selfish and I'm possessive and I can't do that. Like I can't do no poly relationship. And I ain't gonna lie to you, sometimes I've thought about doing a polyamorous relationship, because sometimes I feel like maybe I need to have more than one man. I can have this man for this and have this man for that, but I can't. It's too much mental bandwidth for me. I already gotta think about one person's feelings, then I gotta add another one to the plate. No, polys are not for me. No polys, no polys, no polys. Um, they discussed Beatty's relationship with Mel and how Regina ain't never really seen it from Mel. And she was like, in so many words, it's the same old thing. She just never felt like Mel had any genuine intentions with Beatty. And it might be true at this point with the way everything is looking. But she says she feels bad for Beatty and she wants to talk to Beatty because she doesn't want Beatty to think that she doesn't support her, or even don't want Beatty to feel disrespected by her in a sense. But she did say that Armand was coming back to Atlanta, and her and Armand have to have a conversation face to face about communication, because that's what's lacking in their relationship is communication. And like we always say, you cannot have a relationship that doesn't have any communication in it. You know what I mean? Like you got to have communication in order to have a decent relationship. You know what I mean? You got to, or otherwise it's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, it's not gonna work if you don't have it. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's how I feel. Like no, 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 girl, no. You gotta be able to communicate, and you gotta communicate with a little bit of what's the word? You gotta communicate with maturity, because if you don't, then the communication is gonna be lost. You know what I'm saying? So no, ma'am, you got to get it going. You got to keep it moving. You got to do it right. You know what I'm saying? So yes, at least she knows that they need to have communication. There is no relationship with no communication. There is no relationship without trust. You know? So yeah. And here I am talking about relationships and I ain't even in one. But hey, one day I'll be in one. One day I'm gonna have me a man. One day y'all gonna see me get married. One day. I know I want that one day, but I guess I ain't found the right one yet. Anyway, um Toya and Beatty, they meet up at the park. Beatty says that she hates how the party happened, and Toya thinks that Beatty is deflected because she's not being honest about her feelings. True. Toya says that Beatty goes along with the flow, but doesn't really speak her mind. Beatty agrees that she actually does go with the flow. And I think she goes with the flow because it's safer for her to go with the flow. Not because she wants to, but she thinks that it's safe for her to do that. Like I would rather go, I'd rather go with the flow. I'd rather do this. I don't want no trouble. I don't want no trouble. I don't want no issue. I don't want none of that. So it's gonna go below. I'm just gonna go with the flow because it's safer. Toya wants to know what Beatty's plan is gonna be. She just knows that she's gonna move in with Toya. But Toya says that I just want our relationship to be the top priority. I really want us to have a better relationship. Like I want you to be able to come to me and talk to me about things. I want you to be able to feel like you can trust me. I need that from you. And Beatty agrees that they need that. Um, this conversation that they're having just might be one that's needed. Um, you never know how a person feels because like I said, it's hard when you have siblings and you didn't grow up with them and stuff like that. You got to get used to them and understand them and stuff, and sometimes it's hard to understand people you never really knew. um so Toya and Jashay is one of her is her niece from one of her deceased brothers. They're talking about the graduation list, I'm sorry, and Jashay wants her mother there. The producers asked Toya why Jashay's mother isn't in the picture, but Toya refuses to talk about it, I guess to protect Jashay and her feelings. Jashay didn't go to the prom, but what was so funny is Rain, however, was sitting there like spilling out. I'm like, this little girl here so damn grown. Toya gonna have her another Reginae on her hands. Reginae and Zonique, they looking at a storefront, and Reginae was talking about she ain't ready for no kids because she got too much going on. And but she said that don't nobody never take her seriously when she says she want to watch somebody's kids. She says that her and Armand have a communication problem, but even though they're not together, but they're talking on the phone and stuff right now. So I guess that's a good thing. But she said they don't have much of communication issues. I mean, they don't have a communication. They don't have communication, and that's what they need to discuss. So I think I've been hearing that word communication all the episode, and I think y'all been hearing me saying the word communication this whole review. Um, Reginae and Beatty, they meet up, and Reginae apologizes to Beatty, which I was glad that she did because I felt like she was owed that. Beatty realizes that everybody was right about how they felt about Mel. They talk about their worth, and it's always a good thing when you realize what your worth is. Sometimes we find ourselves in these fucked up ass relationships, and we keep on trying to give everybody a shot and give them a chance after chance after chance, but not really realizing that everybody doesn't deserve a chance from you, and everybody doesn't deserve your good heart. And that's just what this is. Mel did not deserve Beatty's good heart, especially for her to step on that same good heart. But Reginae says they got bigger fish to fry. As far as like Beatty's relationship with Toya, and then they started talking about Tom Girl, which was a brand that they did a while back, and they talking about revisiting it. Toya, Red, Jashay, and Rain, they having family fun, but Toya only taking Jashay out so she can break the news to her and hoping that this family fun day that they doing can soften the blow. They tell Jashay that her mother won't be able to go to her graduation. And even though Jashay had nothing to say. You could see the hurt in her face, and I felt so bad for her. Cause I can't even imagine having a mom that's alive per se. And this is one of the biggest moments of my life. I'm graduating high school, and my mother, who's not even around like that, tells me that she ain't coming to my graduation. That's the least you could do. If you're not gonna raise me, you're not gonna be there for me as a mom, then you could at least come to my graduation. I thought that was fucked up. And I feel bad for kids like that. Like I like, I can't imagine my mama not being there for me like she was when we were growing up. Like my childhood wasn't completely perfect, but mom, when it really counted, my mama was there. Like she made sure she was there. Okay. With a lot of mistakes that she did make as a parent, she made a lot of mistakes. But what she did right was she raised me right, and she was there for all of the big things, graduations, everything. I can't imagine my mama telling me she can't come to my damn graduation. I'd be pissed. I would never speak to her. Like that shit is crazy. Toya and Reginae, they end this episode off by talking about how her and Armand had a long conversation about trust and communication, and they both agree that communication is the key. And that was pretty much all that we got for this episode. I know it don't seem like this episode what was really much because I only did like 20 minutes, but the episode is really good. You know what I mean? It's good. I like to see the different family dynamics and how they react to certain things. It's always a good thing. It's a lot of variety. It's a very good show. So, with that being said, this be your boy Scotty by Nature TV. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, share this video, and also click on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever a video drops. And if you want to follow me on any form of social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok will be down below in the description box. With that being said, you guys, your boys up out of here. And until my next video, I will talk to you guys a little bit later, and I will leave you guys with the promo for my upcoming chasing panel. Talk to you guys later. Bye.